No brains, like, no brains at all. Literally no brains. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Frogs Hollow TV, and joining me once again is Hoppy from beautiful Hervey Bay. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Good.
It's good.
Unfortunately, Wynarka was pushed back, too wet on last weekend.
Yeah, you get that sort of rain in that sort of country and you're not going anywhere.
60 odd mil on Thursday morning. It was way too damp. This episode will review the 2024 Don River Dash, last month's Rainbow Rises 240 in Victoria, and also check out the Wynarka Enduro from the weekend just gone. We'll preview the weekend's Pines Enduro, which is the final round of the ARB Australian Championship, and also Three Springs 400 in WA. And also we'll include a special race preview from the Wells brothers for Pines and Russ Cullen from WA before the Three Springs event. So stay tuned for that.
Be interesting to see what they've got to say.
Yeah, I know. Always great to get those on board. We're honoured once again to have some amazing support on Frogs Hollow TV. The show just wouldn't be possible without Comiskey Mining Services, Cougar Racing, Chapmans Performance Dyno Tuning, Central Desert Transport, Rangecon Mining Services, to Diesel Care, MR Trans, Innovative Interiors, Rushtruck, Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park, Broughton IGA, Racer Imports, Aussie Offroad Media, Show and Go Photography, and also Kevin at KJN Electrical. Yeah. Hoppy,
Thanks,
can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah.
The support is overwhelming, and we look forward to many shows ahead.
Yep.
Once again, to our amazing contributors for tonight, we'd love to thank Show and Go Photography, Shane Hutt, Kai Camilleri, Hank Parker, Amelia Chasemore, Brett Lehman, Carl Habe, Aussie Offroad Media, and Jason Gallier for extensive coverage of the past events, and it makes the show not to miss, and it just brings you the action. While we can sort of talk about it, it's there, and
we can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
They're, without their footage, we can't get to every race and do all that sort of stuff. And we can't thank them enough.
We've got to rely on them, and that's what people like to see. Obviously, insights are good, but to see the raw in-car, some of that footage we showed on the show last weekend was
pretty cool.
So straight into our first event review, the 2024 Bowen Rail Company Don River Dash, which is round 8 of the Queensland AORA Championship. It was a mouthful all weekend out there, actually. We touched on it last weekend. Hoppy, the weekend was all about Camp Battle. He was 5th overnight, stormed to a sort of 2.5 minute victory. Element 1-2. It was Camp Battle's weekend.
What a weekend! Like you think about it, and it just shows consistency. Okay, he mightn't have been there first day, but he was there at the end.
Yeah.
But it was a great race. Yeah. It really was.
That's always an epic event,
It was so many. There was 3 or 4 who could have taken that out.
Yeah.
I agree. And 1-2 for Elements.
Royden and Lockie Bailey second.
Yeah. And he got first last year.
He did. That's a good effort. An event like that, to that nature, to back it up, and especially it's not what he's sort of
used to.
Royden Bailey. South Australian train's a lot different, and to go back up there and finish second in a quality field. As you said, Talbot Cox had an engine drama overnight while coming second. Right. Not exactly sure. I think Nick Commons may have had a big engine failure on the Sunday. Not exactly sure there. I know he had engine dramas. He was leading the race, and also Kai Camilleri got oscillator issue.
And there's a name we're going to hear more of in the future.
I mentioned him on that last show. Kai Camilleri is going to be one to watch in 2025.
Oh, my word. We're going to hear that name. We're going to hear that name a lot.
Yeah, so as you said, Royden and Lockie Bailey crossed in second outright. They were superb all weekend. Third position went to the other Westline trophy truck, the Geyser, Andrew and Sang Commons. They started from 7th, and I interviewed Andrew after the race, and he was so surprised they brought the third place finish.
Yeah, I seen that interview. Yeah, he really was.
He was very shocked. Yeah. Those guys are from the Parks area down in sort of Western New South Wales.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've only been in sport for a few years now, and I actually predicted a bit of an upset. I predicted Camp Battle to win, and I thought Nick Commons would be a bit of a roughie, and it sort of worked out. Well, he was right there to win the race, and unfortunately mechanical dramas. But
it's been unfortunate.
Great to see.
That's off-road racing.
It's always good to see newcomers on a podium of a big event.
It's good for the sport.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good for the sport to see people coming into the sport, and they throw the cat amongst pigeons,
Yeah.
if you want to put it that way.
always
You know, it's good.
James Sant and Tony Falaba, who's always thereabouts, rounded out the top 5 outright from the 2024 Don River Dash.
He's always there, Tony. He's one of those guys. He's just, he might, you know. I've known Tony for a lot of years, and it's a quick little buggy. That it's not, it's no slouch,
that's right.
He can pedal it.
I also mentioned the class winners: Dan Dunn in his Can-Am, Hank Parker, Luke Peterson, Rob Wearing, Dan McDonnell and Ryland Burt for their Don River success. But overall, it was all about Camp Battle, and to see the smile on himself and his team at the end of that event was, and Michael Marson, Talbot Cox, the guys that have been the mainstays at Wynarka Spa. They got such a good Chris Land, massive committee up there. And
It is a great
huge event.
It is.
Huge event.
I liked your interview with Michael when you told him that Kent had won it, and the look in his face was like, oh no, it was so beautiful. It was.
Facebook's going to erupt. So now on to the Track Factory Wynarka Enduro, which was held just the weekend gone in South Australia, the 5th and final round of the 2024 Sayora Championship. It was another South Australian outright victory for Carl and Caitlin Havey. I believe Caitlin's Carl's daughter, winning by about 13 minutes in the Element Prodigy on a dusty weekend. And when Carl Havey and Aaron Havey win events, they make off-road look too easy.
Yeah.
They are just...
And there's becoming a very common theme in all that element. You know, they're just always there. They're an amazing bit of gear.
And I mean, hats off to Carl Havey. One of those events, obviously a sort of a state round that Carl, we could tell he expects to win those. So Aaron, they go out there expecting to win those events. Yeah. But to put it all together and win by 13 minutes, hats off to
a big win.
Element Offroad Racing. And thanks for all the footage, Carl. It's awesome in car. Victorian Travis Conrad, who's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes this year, doing a lot of Cloaker course of big races. He did Hillston, then in Alice Springs. He's putting his hand up and doing a lot of good things for off-road racing in Australia. He continued his strong form in the team's newly acquired Class 10 racer, which he bought off Ben Ursage.
Okay.
That's the car he's got now.
Yep.
He finished second outright, which is a good effort.
Class 10's starting to get a much too, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. And Toby Ryman, who's got a Scorpion, he finished third outright. I think that's his 5th podium finish in South Australia for the year. He won the first 2 rounds of the Sayora Championship. And now he finished third at Port Germain a couple of weeks ago, and then third again this weekend at Wynarka. So he's had quite some year, Toby Ryman, and hats off, provisionally win the South Australian Off-Road Racing Association Championship for 2024.
Congratulations.
It's always a good feather. You don't always go there to it, but when you get those...
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Oh, they're awesome when you get a
trophies.
That's true. They mightn't be real big, but they're pretty awesome.
They mean a lot.
Oh, they do mean an awful lot.
Ben Fatchin claimed the side-by-side turbo victory in 4th outright, whilst Corey Hayworth and Evan Lampard were others to win respective classes. Nick Hicks, Tyson Proud, David Hoare, Darryl Nissen and Trent Gravestock were other notables to not finish the 280 kilometres of Wynarka. So now, Hobby will touch on last month's Rainbow Risers 240 quickly, which is round 5 of the Victorian Offroad Racing Club Championship. And as we mentioned last week's show, South Australian David Hall and his son Matthew claimed a terrific 2-minute victory in their Class 1 Murphy buggy. Yeah, I know we saw the father and daughter combination win this weekend. David Hall and his son. It's
a family sport.
It is.
It's a family sport. That's what I've always said and always love about this sport. Is it's very family orientated. You have a look at 90% of the teams.
Yeah.
It's all to do with, father and son, father and daughter, or, it's amazing. I love it.
And that's the thing, in 10 years' time, hopefully Frogs Hollow TV is still in motion. But we could see Matthew win the same race. So
exactly right.
How it's been going for decades now.
That's, as I said, that's the sport.
Yeah.
You bring your kids through, and that's what it's all about. It's family.
Yeah, I agree. Veteran Class 4 steerer Pete Simpson and Joseph Patterson rounded out the outright podium. Steve Crow and Darren Franklin finished 4th and 5th respectively. And Cody Vizza, Ryan Oldfield, Mark Deacon, Connor Cooper and Jeremy Horn were all class winners at the Rainbow Risers 240. So congratulations
to all those guys, well done.
Now Hobby, straight into our event previews. And as we said, this weekend we'll see the running of the 2024 100 Riffmaster Warrior 200, postponed from last weekend, round 5 of the New South Wales Championship. So Josh for me, and you're sticking with... You went with Ali, didn't you?
I went with Ali. I'm still sticking with it. I'm sticking with the girls.
And you went Jamie Knight. I think Justin Guy will be another big chance. Josh is really due. He'll say to himself, he's had a tough couple of years. If he can get his Jimco firing, I don't think anyone can match Josh House's raw speed and talent. He is that next level.
Yep.
But interesting to see. Also this weekend's the Teagle Excavations ARB Pines Enduro 400. What an event. I've only been there once, 2012, so 12 years ago now. Geez, that time's flying. It's the final round of the ARB Australian Championship. All to play for. Absolutely nothing else to say. Clayton Chapman leads by 22 points over Bo Robinson, Simon Tucker, and then Matt Burrows. Jackson Evans, I think, is 5th. But put it bluntly, Clayton and Chapman and Adam Maguire have to finish this weekend to win the championship. That's a simple equation.
It's his to lose.
He's got it in his hands, but you'll hear a nice insight from Darren Wells and Glen Wells very shortly. He has to finish, and it is a tough race, and it's a tough race on big cars because of those long straights. With so much stress on all the mechanical gear. And
I think Clayton will do well out of that, because the Chapmans and their development and those engines they build. They're strong. And
they'd be aware of that.
My word, they'd be
silly. They're all
I would say that apparently there's a little switch on the dashboard, and I'd say he's put that down this trip. Mainly just to be conservative. And to make sure he gets to the end of the race. He's not silly. No. He's got a pretty mature head on his shoulders, that boy.
That'll be very interesting. Of course, he had his wins at Hillston and Gundawindi.
That's right.
He's been in a league of his own in 2024, that's for sure. Bo Robinson will be there. Dale Martin also going to have a crack in the Jimco. Matty Hansen, a 3-time winner. Of course, Danny Brown won it last year and the year before convincingly. He's, to me, the favourite for the event. He's got that Nissan twin turbo, the Lumicraft. Had a few dramas at Gundawindi. Definitely one to watch. The young Kiwi, Boston Morgan Horan, who we saw win at Loveday. Also, Andy Brown, Aaron Habe, can't rule him out. Carl Habe's unfortunately withdrawn due to work commitments, so he won't be at Millicent. And the informed Jimco charges, Toddy Lehman and Josh Ferguson. He'll be a name we'll hear a lot over the next couple of years. Josh Ferguson, I think he's only had the one race. He's James Cook's mate. He bought the Brad Chasemore Jimco. He was right up there at Loveday, then I think had power steering issues. But watch for Josh Ferguson on the weekend. He'll be right up there. Steve Bowie Graham and Craig Barnett are chasing 3 consecutive ARB Australian class championships. Craig Barnett's got a bit of a battle on his hand with Clayton Chapman in his same class, but I think Steve Bowie Graham's going against Sam Bentley, young Hayden Bentley's son.
Oh, right.
So that'll be one to watch.
Yep.
And other notable entries, Mark Burrows will be there. Shout out to Brendan Forsman, who's already claimed the Class 2 Australian Championship, but he's going to try and lock it up at Millicent. All the best to him. Yep. Always an epic weekend at Millicent, but have you got a tip?
I don't want to.
There's
too many to pick from. Yep. Really, when you look at that field,
there's a lot.
There's a lot of great drivers and a lot of great cars. Yep. And usually they say, you can throw a blanket over it. You can't. It's really...
It's a hard one.
I'll be honest, I'm going to go on a limb and say Young Horn. I think he can bring it home.
It's a roughie, yeah.
It's a bit of a roughie, I know. And I do believe Clayton can bring it home.
The championship.
I
think Danny Brown's the one to beat. I think if Matt Hansen can somehow put a race together, he'll be thereabouts. I'd love to see Aaron Havey do well to finish the year off.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with either Dale Martin or Mr. Danny Brown. Yeah. And maybe a Clayton Chapman victory to round off a sweet year.
Could you imagine if Havey brought home another element?
Yeah, I know.
Another win.
Aaron Havey, new engine after Loveday, so you can't ride him out.
Pretty cool.
Now, in a great addition to our show, Hoppy, I'd like to welcome aboard 2 legendary off-roaders, Darren and Glen Wells, for their insights into this weekend's Pines Enduro. Check it out.
G'day Toby, I'm here at Glen Wells with my brother Darren. We're in race headquarters in Clayton here in front of the old Cheneth racing car, number 1 car, and we've been asked to nominate some winners and from this weekend's 2024 Teagle Excavations ARB Pines Enduro. So to start off with, it's a real good field and anything could happen. What do you reckon, Darren?
Well, gee whiz, this year Clayton Chapman's been on the money at every event and he's been driving extremely well. They've got their act together this year and of course he's in first place. He's going to be hard to toss on the weekend if he drives with his head and not his foot and takes a bit of boost out of that thing. He doesn't need to win this, he needs to win the championship. So he knows that all he's got to do is get that car home and over the line the weekend. And of course, the Pines Enduro's tough on engines, and we normally find that most of these top runners lose engines, don't they, Glenn, at this event?
They do. It's very difficult. Apparently there's going to be a lot of rain and that the weekend too there. A bit of weather coming across, so it's going to make it a bit tricky in the forest.
It's always a bit sloppy there when it rains, but of course we've got Bo Robinson in the big trophy truck, 2nd place. He'll do extremely well, and then of course in 3rd we've got the Tucker brothers and also
Matty Burrows.
Matt Burrows. Boy, gee, if anybody falters up the front, look out for Matt Burrows. He could be taking home the bacon, Glenn.
Well, he's going to finish. There's no doubt he's going to finish. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but he's going to finish. And
who's going to win?
Well, I reckon last 2 years winners. I think Danny Brown would have to be very hard to beat. I reckon Clayton Chapman might back off a little bit for 2nd and 3rd. Throw the Havey brothers, Carl and Aaron Havey in there. But Bo Robinson, of course, we can't leave him out of the equation. But my money be on Danny Brown this weekend.
Yeah, Danny's always quick there. And of course, my little dark horse for the weekend will be Dale Martin. He's got nothing to lose. Brent won't be there the weekend. He's got no engine. So I'm going to pick either Danny Brown or Dale Martin.
Now, with those results in mind, we've got to start thinking about the championship because it is a final round, Darren, so we need to come up with a winner there. What do you think?
Well, I'm sure Clayton Chapman will take home the bacon. He will drive nice and easy on the weekend. He knows all he's got to do is massage it home across the line and he will win the top step on the weekend.
Yes, I agree. I think Chapman is the last 2 Gum to Windy events. He's produced some terrific results. First outright both years. It's a very tough race. So if the car's prepared right and he drives it with his head, I think it's a good chance that he'll win the championship. But look out for Matty Burrows. I reckon he's a smoky.
No, it certainly will be. We're looking forward to seeing everybody there at the Pines on the weekend. It's going to be another great last round, and of course the big trophy presentation on the Sunday evening.
Yeah, it'll be great. Looking forward to it. We'll be there, and exciting viewing and exciting racing.
Let's get back to the racing, Glenn.
Let's do it.
So yeah, thanks to Darren and Glenn. Only hit them up this morning to do that. Luckily they were together, and yeah, I mean, whenever you've got blokes like that chipping in for their little piece of knowledge, it's always great. For
true legend, they're legends of the sport.
Darren Wells, two-time Aussie champ. Glen Wells has done wonderful things as well. Now onto our final review of the week, the 2024 Three Springs 400, third and penultimate round of the WA Championship for 2024. 3 hours north of Perth, around 50 cars, Hoppy in the field. Defending champ Troy Higgins is not in the field, which always adds to the sort of excitement because you're going to have a new winner, I find. I'm sure Troy will be at Kalgoorlie in a few weeks. I think it's around a 75k loop. They do 5 laps over the weekend. Two-time defending WA champ Adam Tawala is in the field after missing the previous round due to being at the Think Desert race. Former Gash Dash winner Troy Shewan in his SS Race Tech Pro Buggy, which is one of Scotty Schiller's cars. It's a beast.
Yeah, anything Scotty builds is a beast. Yeah. I've been lucky enough to go through his shop. Yeah. Amazing man. Does
a lot of good work. Brad Cooper in his Element Prodigy. I think it's only his second run. Another Element.
That name just keeps coming up, doesn't it?
He was 4th outright at the previous round. Brad Close in his new Hammerhead Jimco. Dave Rowett, Friday Boyce, Dave Bush and Malcolm Yeardley will be a few of the side-by-side contenders and all genuine chances of the outright victory. Yeah. I personally believe Adam Trawala will be the one to beat. He's been so dominant in WA the last few years. He's headed back. He had a very rough start to the year with the tragic passing of his father Craig, who they're going to run his car, one of their good family friends this weekend at the race. Cool. Which is going to be great. It'll be an emotional time for the family and the crew, but I think it's Adam said it's something they need to do, and it's going to do it at Three Springs, so it'll be a special couple of days. And Troy Shewan are the two standout cars for me. What are your thoughts on Three Springs?
I reckon I'm looking forward to the matchup between the SS Racetech and the Element. That's my way of looking. I'm looking at the buggies, not the
two builds.
It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
However, for a deeper understanding of this weekend's Three Springs 400, let's take a listen to WA off-road expert Russ Cullen.
Hi viewers, I hope you're enjoying another edition of Frogs Hollow. Toby's doing a fine job of presenting a great show. Russ here from West Australia. We've got a great race coming up this weekend in Three Springs. The Three Springs event is extremely well run. I've had a lot to do with it in the past, not gloating of course, but the new team that's taken it on are doing a fantastic job of making this race better and better. The Three Springs track is probably one of the most picturesque tracks we race on in WA. The terrain is extremely diverse. It's a very enjoyable track for a driver, very enjoyable for the family because there's a lot of spectating ability there, some nice cliffs and that sort of thing. The track, as I said, is very diverse. There's some big, fast, high-speed salt pans. There's some whoops. There's some twisty stuff. There's some red dirt reminiscent of the Gas Dash. So it's got a lot in it for everyone. Some real fast stuff on the Lake Road because it is held in the Lake Country. So on the Lake Road, it's a very rally-esque type of track, so you can get a lot of speed up and have a bit of a break. It really doesn't suit any particular car, so it's a real, the way I could describe it is a driver's track. It's good for a fast driver in a fast car. So you probably see the likes of Adam Tuella, Keithy Rance, Troy Shewan, Friday Boyce featuring at the top of the tables. So we expect to have a good weekend. Thank you.
So there you go, Hoppy. Another little bit of inside knowledge from the big man himself, Russ Cullen. I think this is a great addition to the show. Maybe not every week, but every now and we'll just throw in an interstate expert.
I think it's a great idea.
They all know off-road. They all know the drivers, the terrain, and we can't do it all from here, so we've got to have them on board.
Exactly right, 100%.
Thanks to the Welleses and Russ for being on the show this week. So that's a wrap. Hoppy on tonight's show. Another huge weekend ahead of us. 3 big events over 3 states. The championships are really on the line now. Lots to play out for, not only at the events, but in the whole year side of things. Good luck and safe racing to those heading to Warrialda, Millicent and also Three Springs. But more importantly, stay tuned to the next episode of Frogs Hollow TV. Cheerio.
Catch us all later. Go Clayton.